So my name's Rudy-Lee Taurua. I whakapapa to Waitangi Oromahui over in Aotearoa, but I was raised here in Adelaide, South Australia. I want the audience to know nothing about me. I would love them to make their own assumptions because it's more fun that way. My pre-gig routine is to have a complete mental breakdown, just anxiety, panic attack, maybe a few depressive moments, and then snap out of it when I'm caught on the stage. That's my pre-show routine, works every time.
He's an industrial painter from Port Adelaide who watched raw comedy as a kid and thought, I could do that, and now he is. Please welcome to the stage, Rudy-Lee Taurua!
Before I start with any jokes, ladies and gentlemen and everybody in between, just on a serious note, I'd personally like to acknowledge the traditional owners on the land on which we're gathered here today, past, present and future. It is a crazy time in the world at the moment, and it's crazy for people of colour. The craziest thing is, you see some dickheads still claim that white privilege doesn't exist. But I think this whole acknowledgement to country thing's only evidence that it does. You know, let's think about it for a second. What have we done effectively as a nation? We've stolen an entire continent, and what do we do to make that right? Do we whip up a treaty? No. Do we consider some form of monetary compensation? Of course not. What we do to make that right in Australia is we give the traditional owners of the land a shout out at a gig. And apparently she'll be right. Yeah. And I've been thinking about that concept. Doesn't work for anything else, does it? Like, mate, I couldn't break into your car. Well, I could actually. Let me rephrase that. If I broke into your car, I couldn't be sitting in the driver's seat with my flathead screwdriver crammed in the ignition. And just before I plug the barrel, look up and say, well, I'd just like to acknowledge the traditional owner of this 1987 VN Commodore. And then drive it around for 200 years. It doesn't work. It doesn't work, I've tried. So you might be wondering, a lot of people do ask me, they ask me if I'm Māori, ask me if I'm Kiwi because of all my tribal tattoos. And obviously, I'm not. No, I've just got the tribal tattoos because I was raised in the 90s. Does everybody remember when cultural appropriation was all the rage? Do you remember that, guys? No, obviously that's a joke. That is a joke. My father is in fact a proud black fella. He is a proud black fella. Although I should probably start describing him more as grey these days. Because he's grown old. I mean, there's that, the fact that I had him cremated. Oh, a bit of judgment there. Don't judge me, don't judge me. It is a difficult decision. It is a hard decision, you know. Do you bury or do you cremate a parent? And let me tell you, that decision is made all the more difficult when they're still alive. Shut up, Daddles! Said that once and someone goes, oh mate, Maoris aren't exactly black, are they? They're more a coffee colour. I said, can you tell me who the 1993 Bledisloe Cup? Huh? Wasn't the all Frappuccino lattes now, was it? Nah. It was the All Blacks. So think of that one. Look, I've been trying to ignore this, but I have to call this out. The whole time I've been up here, this young lady in the front row has been, well, she's been giving me the sex eye, something kind of. She's been undressing me with her eyes, and I'm starting to feel slightly objectified, if I'm honest, I am. Don't get me wrong, I should be flattered. You are a gorgeous, beautiful young lady, but the reason you and I can never be as one is because I'm what they call, in the comedy industry, a homosexual. I am gay, it's true. I'm also a mind reader, because the bloke sitting next to us looking at me going, there is no way he's gay. That's what he's thinking. And let me say, if that is what you're thinking, Daddy, If you don't think I look gay, it would be my absolute pleasure to prove you wrong, miss. You're not a man until you had a man. You're not a man until you had a man. Fun fact, turns out I'm 247 men. I've got a lot of people saying to me, Rudes, are you sure you're gay? You don't look very gay. And to that I say, you should see me with a big fat dick in my mouth. I look pretty gay then, don't you think? Yeah. It's crazy. Are you a heterosexual? Yeah, I always love that. Wait up, what is that pronoun? Yes. Hand up if you're a heterosexual in the audience. This is how I find out who I can sleep with after the show. Quick questions to the heterosexuals. When exactly did yous come out? Oh, you've never had to sit your family, your friends down, your co-workers. You didn't have to tell society who you wanted to sleep with, how you wanted to sleep with them, you know, all your positions, or your kinks, or your fetishes, and where you like to ejaculate. You never... You didn't have to do that, did you? No, because this coming out thing's a bullshit concept. It is a bullshit concept, but don't worry, I've got it sussed. I've got it figured out. And when I'm Prime Minister, I'm going to legislate so that instead of queer people having to tell everyone who they want to sleep with, what we get to do as queer people is we get to go around and tell people personally why we wouldn't sleep with them. For example, I used to work with this guy. He was in his late 60s. He was incredibly overweight. He was hypertensive. This man was, in fact, a very heavy sweater. And he found out I was gay, so of course he's come up to me. Mate, I haven't got a problem with the gays. Just don't think you're getting a piece of me. Now, if my version of coming out was in place, then what I would say to him is I would have said, Gary, when you found out I was a homosexual, I thought that made it abundantly clear that I wasn't attracted to people with breasts, you fat, sweaty bastard. That's what I would have said to Gary. All right, thank you very much, guys. I've been Rudy-Lee Taurua, enjoying it.
Show some love to Rudy-Lee Taurua!
It went as good as it could go. So, you know, everything got last where it was supposed to, which is always nice. So yeah, happy it's done and dusted.